What's up, pros and hoes, whatever floats you go? It's Relentless here, bringing you yet another Division build episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you happen to be new to the channel, ground and pound that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to trigger that bell and turn on post notifications so that way you know each and every time a new video goes up. And keeping along with the theme of non-traditional six pieces, I threw this together and have been running it, and it's been quite a different pace for myself. But more or less, it's more or less the in-between of a support and a DPS, because primarily I'm a DPS, and let's just face it, I suck at support because I'm always up front, and typically I forget that I'm a support player, and I pretty much get sneezed upon and go down very easily. So this fits my gameplay and game style very well. I can also put down DPS. It's versatile. It can pretty much meet anything and everything when it comes to playing in a squad. You're that in-between player. You can put down damage, and also you can be supportive in several different ways. So this is both support, has survivability, DPS, and is completely versatile. You can mix and match and switch out things as you see fit. It all depends on your squad and what they're running, so that way this is a good in-between. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. As you can see, we are utilizing 3 final measure pieces, the ninja bag and 2 tactician. Let's go into the weaponry before we get into the actual gear pieces themselves. So on my house, if I'm not running a pulse, then I run vicious, deadly, and card counter. If I happen to be running a pulse, then I run deadly, unforgiving, and card counter. And if I'm doing a PvP activity, then I go with the destructive and ferocious SMG. But my all-around go-to when it comes to ARs is this one right here. It's a lightweight M4 with predatory, deadly, and determined. Instead of deadly here, I probably would more or less go along with talented, so that way, you know, for killing an NPC or whatnot, then I get that additional boost in skill power. But at least with deadly on there, with running a pulse or having someone else running a pulse, such as a full support player on the squad, then this definitely will come in handy, and that extra 15% of crit damage coming by the way of deadly comes in handy. Now let's go over the gear itself, starting with the chest piece. Almost maxed out on the stamina roll. We have maxed out armor. In the majors, we have skill haste, health, in the minors, ammo capacity, and in its mod slot, stamina with skill power in both. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the 4-piece final measure, of course, the main thing that we're going for when in range of hostile grenades or mortars diffuses them and adds grenades to your inventory. It can only happen once every 8 seconds. Even though it's once every 8 seconds, that definitely does come in handy when you're getting a lot and hitting with a lot of barrage of grenades being thrown your way. And also when it comes to the PvE side, you get the 15% protection from elites, and of course the 25% exotic damage resilience. Moving on to the mask, we have also rolled to stamina, almost maxed out. It's 1391, so it's about 11 off, but good enough. And the major attributes, skill power, and the minor's burn resistance. I'd prefer damage to elites here in the minors if I could be, and I tried to switch it out all different kinds of ways as far as trying to utilize this tactician's mask, since it has both stamina and skill power on it, and also 10% damage to elites. So if you do have a better piece than what I have, or you can mix and match different ways to get that damage to elites on here, that way it'll be versatile both in PvP and then the PvE side. And in the mod slot, we have electronics and skill power. Now moving along to the knee pads rolled to electronics. Major attributes is skill power. In the minors, we have bleed, shock, and burn resistance to 3 major things that you see a lot of in the dark zone. And in the mod slot, stamina with skill power with first aid self-heal. Moving on to the backpack. This was the best option I had when it comes to ninja bag, because these are rolled to either firearms or stamina. So this at least has maxed out on electronics, a little low on the armor roll, but it'll eventually get there as I continue to optimize it. major attributes, skill power, and the miners, ammo capacity, and in the mod slots, stamina with skill power, and 2 first aid self heals. Now moving on to the gloves, crit hit damage, assault rifle damage, crit hit chance, rolled to firearms is the absolute only piece that is rolled to firearms. You don't necessarily have to have it rolled to firearms. You could have it rolled to skill power, or if you want to be a little more tankier in stamina, and then you can just switch out the mods to where I have stamina and skill power and can go with maybe firearms and skill power, so that way you at least hit the cap to unlock the talents on your weapons, such as along the lines of predatory, deadly, or whatever is your go-to when it comes to ARs or SMGs. Moving on to the holster, we have the major attributes, 7% skill haste, and in the mod slot we have the first aid self heal. Now its versatility comes in multiple facets. Instead of the first aid self heals, you could go with the 5% healing speed mods for immune box. You could also, if you're running a pulse, you can run 2% pulse crit hit damage mods in it. You can mix and match. It all depends on pretty much when you're playing with a squad, whatever can best suit to meet the needs of your squad. So that's why this is so versatile, because it's that go-between full DPS, full support. It's right there along the middle. You have good enough skill power at 238k. You have survivability at 470k toughness. And I believe I have 31% skill haste. So my skills come back really quickly, especially when I'm utilizing Determined on my lightweight M4, to whether it be to finish off an enemy, to take down NPCs. That way I can get my ult and my skills back really quickly. And also with Predatory, which is I call the poor man's Nomad Resolve, where you get 35% health over 20 seconds. So all goes hand in hand and correlates good with one another. You help out by diffusing some grenades coming your way. And of course with the Tactician, having the 3-piece of it, you have a 15% skill haste and of course the 10% skill power buff. So it's very versatile in so many ways, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it just depends on how you want to play it and who you're playing with. It can meet the needs on whatever you see fit. Now let's go over to the abilities. Now when it comes to a pulse, if I want to run a concealed pulse, as you can see, my crit hit chance is 23, crit hit damage is 23%, so it's a decent, good-sized pulse. If I want to run booster shot, 154% self-heal, 124 to allies. If I want to run defibrillator, 144 to myself, 207k to my allies. And then when it comes to immune box, 7.696, well, almost 7,700 health points per second with a 19-second cooldown. And if you put those 5% healing rate speed mods in your mod slots, then that will even further increase the healing rate of your box. So it's pretty much whatever you want to. If no one's running a pulse and the healer is like a reclaimer and he's just a full healer, then he can go with the box and more or less defibrillator, or a box and pulse, whichever y'all guys decide amongst yourselves. And that way you can go to the exact opposite. You can run booster for extra damage for your team, and also run the pulse for it, or also run an additional box, so that way your DPS guys, more or less you have 2 boxes out, and that way they can focus on other things, as far as if they want to choose disrupt, or if they even want to go with the extra cheese on top of the DZ and throw on a flame turret or a shock turret. The sky's the limit. Now the talents that I prefer is of course Adrenaline. It helps out with any kind of stats effects. It cleanses you and grants you immunity for 7 seconds. And of course Triage, heal an ally with a skill to reduce skill cooldowns by 15%. That comes in key, especially in squad play. And then of course Combat Medic, so that way by some ridiculous chance that your heals are on cooldown, you can pop a med kit, and that also will help your teammate in that way. So therefore, if you are running in a squad, you always want to have Combat Medic on, so that way it helps everybody in your squad. And of course Strike Back, reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%. But all in all, it is a fun and awesome build. Your numbers will be a little bit different than what mine is. As you can see, I'm minus some armor on a lot of these pieces. A lot of these are new to me, So I'm constantly, I probably went through maybe 600 or 700 division techs so far, trying to optimize each and every piece, and I'm still on the grind, but this is what I got so far. But once optimized, your toughness and skill power should be a little over 240k skill power, and then around 475k toughness. But if your skill gameplay or squad play is a little better than mine when it comes to you know how to play a support, then you can shift around these numbers and tweak it here and there to best fit your play style. And this just goes hand in hand with my type of play style. I can lay out some damage when it comes to either pulse or by booster. I get my skills back really fast by utilizing Determined, and of course I get extra heals with the Predatory. So it has a ton of survivability, but the most important thing, it is very versatile, to where if it's in a squad, you can switch things, just tweak it here and there to fit any need that your squad may have. And it has multiple benefits, not just go along with more or less the heal aspects, but also when it comes by way of damage, such as pulse and booster shot, and also diffusing grenades. So all in all around, it is a good overall, more or less average build. It's not heavy on DPS, it's not heavy on the tank side, it's not heavy on electronics. It's a complete balance all across the board. But like I said, you can tweak it to how you see fit. Like I said, you probably have better pieces than what I have. You can definitely mix and match and probably do a little bit better in the numbers. Like I said, I'm still optimizing mine, but all in all, it is a lot of fun. I do have some gameplay. That link will be in the description below. I was on playing with JMike0123. Cool guy. Enjoy playing with him here late. We were just, causing a lot of havoc in the dark zone, and of course I was running this. And there was only 2 builds that specifically I wear in this whole entire video, and of course one is Pred, and then you'll see a lot of this one as well, and I'm pretty sure you can determine which is which. So it's about a 12 to 14 minute video, and half is with this build and half is with Predator's Mark. But it is a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy, and don't forget to check out the link so that way you can see gameplay of this awesome build. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ground and pound that like and subscribe button, and like again, if you are new to the channel, trigger that bell, hit that sub. It's very much appreciated, and we'll see you guys fudging later.